everyone. Welcome to today's debate on topic central to our understanding of education and tradition. Is the ancient Gurukul system of India truly adaptable to the modern world? This is a key discussion within the Indian knowledge system as we examine how ancient traditions can interact with modern needs. We have both sides today, one advocating for the adaptability of the Gurukul system and the arguing against the adaptability of the Gurukul system. We will begin with the opening statements from both the sides, followed by audience questions and closing remarks. For the motion, we have Dhruv Mistry. Against the motion, we have Asta Punya. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to present their initial arguments. After that, we will move to rebuttals and then open the floor for questions from the audience. Let's start by hearing out Gurukul side first for the motion.
Ancient Gurukul system relied on 4 different aspects. First, the Guru Ashram, where the teacher and students lived in our own harmony. No matter who you were, what economic background you had, who you were born under, no matter what, you live together, you eat together, you sleep together. Second comes in Sadachar, good behavior. All the things that we behave in are usually linked to our childhood memories, the way we are taught. And what better place to learn under than under a teacher and from people from different cultural backgrounds. Here, you learn how to behave, how to carry yourself. Then comes the service value. Good values or thoughts. These two were taught to us by the very good teachers that we lived under. Lastly comes coexistence with nature. Here, we learn how to maintain harmony with both man and nature. These are the 4 main important things that the Gurukul system was based on. Apart from these, we learn about holisticness, how we should carry ourselves, as well as our ethics, values, morals, as well as sustainability. How do we sustain ourselves in the long run? How should we be self-sufficient was also taught to us by the Gurukul system. I agree that yes, completely Gurukul system is compatible with the modern world. But majority of the things that are taught in the Gurukul and the way that we are taught are still applicable to our lives. The modern education system usually forces us to mug up things and paste them in exams, whereas the Gurukul system and the gurus place an emphasis on practical life applications as well as the academics. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Now let's hear the other side against the motion.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Asta Punya, and yes, I'm against the motion, which is Gurukul system. So, Gurukul system is basically outdated. I don't think so. This should come in force. But there are a lot of things which Gurukul actually brings in today's world, which can be implemented. But we need to improvise a lot on that, which requires a lot of labor force and a lot of other things which might not be possible in today's world. Gurukul system had a thing which only admitted people from upper caste Brahmins, but did not add people from lower caste, particularly Dalits. Today, if modern society does that, I don't think so. If most of the India would be educated, Gurukul system definitely lacked that. When we talk about inclusivity, Gurukul system lacked it the most. It was only for the boys or people who were pandits, and it was there for girls, but specifically for the girls who belonged to a higher community or upper caste, with a specific syllabus and not the whole thing. So Gurukul system lacked a lot of things which need to be improvised, but if we improvise them, then it is there for the world and we can make it. And in a country like India, Gurukul system, if we use the same system which was there back then, if we have applied it today, all these things which we are there in globalized world, in the modern world, in the technological world, I don't think so we could make it. Gurukul system would not actually make so much sense in today's world. But if there's a lot of improvements and implementations that I would really appreciate representing the youth of the nation. Thank you so much. I would appreciate any questions from the audience.
Now let's start the opening questions for the speaker. My first question is for the motion. You argue that Gurukul system can be adapted to the modern world. Could you highlight what key elements of Gurukul system you believe are still relevant today? Specifically, how would these be applied in a modern world dominated by technology and globalization?
A modern world utilizes a lot of technology, which indeed has created a dependence on it. Take ChatGPT, most of our assignments are done. And if you don't use a lot of ChatGPT things, we still are heavily reliant on Google. We have forgotten how to read, how to find things that are relevant to our studies. In the Google system, teacher wasn't the only source. We had multiple libraries. We had huge libraries, such as Nalanda and Takshisha, a proper universities where the world came to be, to study and to learn. We have scriptures from as far as China and Greece. But let's focus on modern technology. Our tendency to depend on it. If we want to inculcate it in the modern life via the Google system, I advocate for on-field as well as
Continue.
I would like to advocate for on-field as well as technological studies. On-field as in, let's take social sciences. We have all studied about ecosystems. Yet, how many of us have actually been to the tundra, the Arctic poles? Because it's not really possible, not feasible for every single one of us to be there. Here, can use technology to make students understand how the world is over there, how the climate is present, how the weather changes over there. Virtual reality and simulations are really good to teach us things about that are either rare, endangered, or unusual that we do not come across. Technology is indeed a vital part of our lives today. And Google system would teach us how to use it ethically. Thank you.
Your position is that Gurukul system is. My next question is for the speaker against the motion. Your position is that Gurukul system is not adaptable to the modern world. Do you think there are any elements from the Gurukul system that could still be useful if modified or integrated with the contemporary education systems?
Definitely yes. A lot of elements from Gurukul system is actually now useful, as I said in my previous speech, that ethics, mindfulness, meditation, calmness, peace, all of these are the main elements of Gurukul education system. But according to me, if we want to integrate all these things in today's world, which includes Zoom meeting, Google Classrooms, Google Submissions, ChatGPT, all these things, this Gurukul system actually lacks all these things because now we are so habitual to all this technology and science that the Gurukul system in the force will actually eliminate the interest of students. So, in the term or in the favor of taking Gurukul system into the real world, will actually need to modify a lot of Gurukul system rules and regulations by actually making the technology digital world and the Gurukul world together and implementing all the better things, like I said before, the meditation and everything, all the household chorus and everything which was taught back then. We could include it like in extracurricular activities or maybe as some important subjects to actually modify the students' thinking and help them with their personal and professional life. Thank you so much.
My next question is for the motion. You have mentioned the benefits of holistic education and mentorship in the Gurukul system. How would the Gurukul focus on close student-teacher relationship translates in today's world where student numbers are much larger and education is often delivered digitally?
Education system has adapted to technology as expected. And Gurukul system can too. We can have telephonic one-on-one interviews via the student and teacher. Every student can connect to his or her teacher via the phones today. The internet has provided us infinite literacy as well as availability of resources to educate ourselves. We no longer are reliant on our teachers alone. And the Gurukul system too emphasizes on self-learning too. We have access to platforms that are storehouses of knowledge for us, where information is just waiting for us to tap into. So technology could be included a lot better could be included a lot better than the rigid Gurukul system that we think of that is.
My next question is for the speaker against the motion. Was the Gurukul system by design was rigid and exclusive, catering to special caste, gender and socio-economic groups?
Yes, the question actually agrees to whatever I said in my starting speech. It is limited to some caste, some genders and cultural backgrounds. When I talked about it has limited access to people who belong to upper caste, particularly Brahmins, they actually are. The syllabus of the Gurukul system was actually based on people who were from upper class and were supposed to go in different universities to create their future or career. But when we talk about the other caste systems, the Dalits or any OBCs, the system did not have any syllabus for the same. It did not have gender equality as well. Inclusivity was not found in Gurukul system. So when we talk about inclusivity, only males or boys are allowed to take admission in Gurukul system or the Gurukul education. In today's world, we see a lot of gender equalities, inclusivity throughout the world. So this Gurukul system will actually lose its essence when we talk about it in today's world. In order to bring the Gurukul system here in India or to make it global, it is necessary to include all the genders and make it inclusive with the caste, gender and other economic backgrounds as well. When we talk about economic backgrounds, back then education was only supported to people who were actually able to afford it, rather than making any educational schemes for people who was not able or was not there to take the education. It was restricted to people who can afford education and who is actually able to go inside the education system, which is not relevant in today's world. It is a right of a human being to educate themselves. So if Gurukul system enables this thing in their education system, then it can make some point possible for it to come again in the system and integrate with our education. Thank you so much.
My next question is for the motion. You have spoken about integrating technology into Gurukul models. Could you give a concrete example of how ancient teaching methods could merge with digital education without losing their essence?
Ancient teaching methods, first of all, involved and look a lot upon communal living, how we sustain and live among each other. And in today's multicultural world, where we can talk to people that are miles across from us, in such an environment, online platforms and forums that support and host people from multiple countries can help us a lot in inculcating various cultures and the traditions within us. Apart from these, we can look into practical applications of the various subjects that we study in. Gurukul system not only relied on just theory, it taught us how to practically apply the theory. Because what use is a theory if you cannot apply it in practical application, and if it has no use to us, either theoretically or practically. So, inculcating technology to Gurukul system is quite easy, only if we are ready.
My next question is for the speaker against the motion. Inclusivity is a major theme in modern education. You have argued that Gurukul system lacked inclusivity. Is there any potential for the system to be made more inclusive, or is this an inherent limitation?
So yes, as I said before, Gurukul system actually lacks inclusivity. Today, if you want to implement all these things in Gurukul system has to open up and accept all the genders, all the castes, and all the people to make it the education more wider and successful. If we talk about Gurukul not accepting it, like keeping it at the same way like it was before. Now imagine a country where there's lots of misogyny and people just only most of the boys are educated, or it was a male-dominated society where females are actually suppressed to educate. I don't think so it is relevant in today's world, because today we have feminist rights and a lot of people who actually fight for gender inclusivity and caste equality. So if the Gurukul system makes sure that everyone has equal right to educate, everyone is inclusive, and everyone has the same position to take education, and there is no difference in syllabus between people of upper caste, low caste, or gender discrimination, then Gurukul can definitely make it to this world and can reach to heights not only in India but around the world. Thank you so much.
Now we will open the floor for audience questions. Please keep your questions brief and direct them to specific speakers.
My question is for the speaker of the motion. So, how would the Gurukul system help the students in this globalized world where adaptability and special education is very crucial?
A really good question from a good friend. So, adaptability, yes, that's a really good concept. But how do we learn adaptability? By practically inculcating the knowledge of theory as well as practice into us. And what better do we know of in this ever-changing world, where skills are constantly required to be updated, where we constantly need to be learning in order to progress into our field. And that's what Gurukul teaches us. We are a student for life. We need to keep learning. We need to stay humble at the end of the day. Because the day we are satisfied with what we know, we will start stagnating. And in today's world, where technology is moving way faster than it should, we need to keep up with it. I think that answers the question. Thank you.
Hello. My question is for the speaker against the motion. While you say that the system is outdated, how have you revived the moral and spiritual values which can be helpful in today's competitive world?
That's a very important, very interesting question to be addressed. So when we talk about inclusivity and everything else is aside, but the real essence of Gurukul system is peace of mind, mental wellness, which is very important in today's world. Along with that, the essence of system is being physically strong as well as mentally strong. But in today's world, we are so diluted towards modernization and globalization. We actually do not think about all these things, though in our syllabus we are given importance to this. So as my friend asked me, how can we include this in today's world? So we cannot actually put it in a side curriculum thing. We can actually bring it to the mainstream of the education while not only being talking about modernization, IT, science, but also peace of mind, mental wellness, meditation, and everything. This will actually help a human being to grow both wise, spiritually, religiously, culturally, also as a human being themselves. So today, if we talk about an education which includes all these things in whole, this can actually make the human short ready for their future careers and be demanded in the world out there, which is globalized. But it also demands a person the good peace of mind, which is actually given from the Gurukul system. So if we include both the things together, which is the Gurukul system, the Gurukul essence, the touch of Gurukul thing, and the modern world or the modern education system, can actually make a very great Indian education system which can beat other education institutes and universities and make India an actual true hub of education which includes mental well-being, physical well-being, personal and professional well-being. Thank you so much.
So, my question is for both the speakers. If we were to adopt a hybrid model, what elements of the Gurukul system and the modern education system would you implement in order to create an ideal system?
So if you want to inculcate the Gurukul system into a modern world, just directly picking up an ancient practice and pasting it in modern lives would be difficult, as we are adapted to the way of living that they were. First, we need to define the class size. That's the very first thing that should begin with. How many students under who? And what kind of specialization and basic symmetry of education that we would receive. That's the very first step according to me that we should progress in if we want to inculcate the Gurukul system into modern lives. Along with it, it's better to have a diverse culture. People with various backgrounds in the same class, living together and eating together. Lastly, I'd like to inculcate technology, especially the use of internet, as well as the ethics and morals that are required to use it. These are the three things that, according to me, should be included in the modern Gurukul system.
I would say that in the world of technology or online media, Gurukul system actually lacked it. So rather, to include it and make it a collaboration of both the institutes or both the systems, we can actually make it more accessible to people who stays in area which is not actually accessible for them to take education. So including digital media to Gurukul system will make it a sensible Gurukul area where people will actually learn and have interest in it. Only keeping the old mindsets would not make the thing, but including all the modern things or maybe all the inclusivity will make the Gurukul system and modern world a better place to learn and grow and thrive better. Thank you so much.
Let's start with the closing questions. My first question is for the speaker of the motion. In your final words, could you share how the Gurukul system could be practically implemented in a modern urban environment where students face pressures like exams, technological dependency, and lack of time for holistic practices?
First of all, let's start with building a better model. better network both socially and academically. It's way better to have a strong social network to rely on than being alone. That's the very first thing that I like to implement in our modern lives, where we live individually. A social network is really useful for us. Apart from these, technology, as I repeat it once again. Technology is in the very veins of our lives today. We cannot thrive without our phones. We cannot reach out to people as much without our phones. Apart from these pressures that my friend mentioned, exam pressures and academics, or academic projects. These are two things that take up most of our lives today. In order to at least reduce this pressure, can inculcate practices as my previous mentioned, such as meditation, exercise, yoga. Because physical fitness is as much important as mental wellness is. And it is very important for us to maintain an equilibrium between both of them. So, moving forward, let's just try to stay well both physically and mentally. That's all from my side. Thank you.
My next question is for the speaker against the motion. If the Gurukul system cannot be adapted, what alternatives would you suggest for incorporating the value-based education and life skills that Gurukul system emphasized into modern schooling?
Gurukul system, if you bring it in force directly and suddenly, I'm sure it will be very chaotic and messy for the students in the current education system. Rather, we can just make it an easy curriculum for the students who are in the current education system and make them believe that it will help them grow. For example, we can add character development or social responsibility projects which was actually there in Gurukul system, where people were actually given the responsibility of social life, helping people out, and their own character development. Whereas in modern society, I see it lacks somewhere because people are totally into themselves and taking things on their own. So rather we can merge both of it, where people will take social responsibility, develop their character, and make things a bit easier for society, as Gurukul system wanted to do, to make the society a comfortable place rather than just a chaotic, modernized or globalized world. Also, we are growing, we cannot just stay in past. We need to add a few things which is there today, globalized, modernized, computerized, which we can help the Gurukul system to thrive as well. We can add a lot of digital tools. We already have ChatGPT, we already have AI helping us. We have a lot of systems, tools, digital tools which helps us through our education and many other things, projects we can say. So Gurukul system and this system can collaborate and make this a world a little better place to survive, to thrive, and to be physically and mentally fit. Thank you so much.
Thank you to both of our debaters for presenting such compelling arguments. It is clear that the discussion on whether the Gurukul system is adaptable to the modern times brings up important questions about the role of tradition, technology, and value in education. Before we conclude, I would like to leave you all with a question. How can we create an education system that honors tradition while preparing students for the future? Thank you all.